Hello, YouTube. This is Melodic Entity. It's Friday night, and I am not playing a video game tonight for once. Tonight, I want to talk about NFL football. We got a lot of important matches this weekend, and the playoffs are slowly creeping up. So I want to take a few minutes just to kind of talk about all of the games that are happening this weekend. We've got a lot of good matchups. Anyway, I didn't see the Thursday night game because of the time difference. I'm actually talking from Korea right now. But I saw the last second Hail Mary, which the Packers came through on at the end, and I just couldn't believe it. Doesn't happen very often, but it was a pretty cool play nonetheless. And right now, Green Bay, they are fighting for first place in the NFC North. So as far as the rest of the matches go this weekend, let's take a look at that. The first game on Sunday at 1 o'clock is Houston Texans at the Buffalo Bills. Both of these teams are in the playoff hunt. They're not, well, Houston is actually currently tied with the Colts in first place of the AFC South. So that division is still up for grabs. The Bills, on the other hand, are in third place at 5-6. Behind the New York Jets and the New England Patriots, who have a commanding lead in the AFC East. So there's still a wild card chance for Buffalo, obviously. Must win for them. Then we go on to San Francisco at Chicago. Well, I wouldn't say this game is that important. Well, it is for Chicago. They have to win this if they want to stay alive in the playoff spot. San Francisco, on the other hand, they're just a mess. They're a train wreck. Just been a lot of good players that they've left the team, and a lot of talent is just not there now. Kaepernick, you got the controversy with him. So I don't know what's going on in San Fran, but they're definitely tail spinning the wrong way. Anyway, that brings us to Cincinnati at Cleveland, the Battle of Ohio. I don't even know who the starting quarterback for Cleveland is right now. I know Manziel has been demoted. He's not the starter anymore for the season. In fact, I think his days in Cleveland are numbered. He's probably going to be released as we get into the offseason or traded or something. Cincy, on the other hand, they're doing very well at 9-2 in the AFC North. So I see Cincy easily coming away with this one. Then we have Baltimore at Miami. Baltimore's been a real disappointment. That's a team that's usually been very competitive every year, but they're sitting at 4-7 right now. Not very good this year. Been a real disappointment. And Miami, on the other hand, again, it's Miami. I can't say I'm disappointed because they haven't been good in quite some time. That brings us to Seattle at Minnesota. This is a very important game for both teams. Seattle needs to win this one to stay alive in the wild card hunt, and Minnesota, of course, needs to win to stay in first place of the NFC North. Seattle, this weekend, I hope you lose, because I am a Tampa Bay fan, and if you lose, it helps us. Assuming that we win, of course. Anyway, then we have the Battle of New York. We have the Jets versus the G-Men. The Jets are at 6-5. They need to win this one to stay in the wild card spot. And we have the Giants, who are actually fighting for first place in their division with the Redskins at 5-6. So that one's still up for grabs. Then we have Arizona at St. Louis. Arizona is comfortably in the lead of their division at 9-2. Not much I can say about them. They're playing lights out football right now. Carson Palmer is he's really amazed me. I thought he was past his prime, and I didn't expect him to be playing as well as he's been playing, but that's a good team right there. St. Louis, on the other hand, not so good. So really the only thing they can do at this point is play spoiler because it's a divisional game. I don't see the St. Louis Rams getting into the playoffs this year. And that brings us to my game, Atlanta Falcons at Tampa Bay. This is very important for both teams. Basically, the winner of this match stays alive in the wild card hunt. The loser most likely out of the playoffs this year. So I'm really hoping Winston can put together a nice show against Atlanta. Their defense hasn't been that good. So hopefully we'll have a nice win there and stay alive in the playoff hunt. Okay, then that takes us to Jacksonville at Tennessee. Both teams are pretty much out of the playoffs this year. Although I'm still a Mariota fan, I think he's been a really good quarterback despite the team's record. I would have taken him over Winston in the draft. I'm sure I'll get some argument about that, but I think I like his quick release. I like the decisions he makes. But Winston has been pretty good too, so I can't complain. Both quarterbacks, I think, are going to be very good in the NFL the next couple of years. Then we have Kansas City at Oakland. Kansas City is fighting for a wild card spot. They're at 6-5, and Oakland is right behind them at 5-6. This is a divisional game, and this is an important game for both teams. I don't know. This game could definitely go either way. I have a feeling Oakland might pull this one off, though, so we'll see. Then we have Denver at San Diego, the first place team in the division versus the worst team in the division at 3-8, Chargers. Yeah, Chargers can play spoiler here, I suppose, if they want, but I doubt that's going to happen. You never know, though. And then that takes us to Philadelphia at New England. Yes, I was happy when the Patriots lost last week. I'm just not a fan of that team. I know they win; they're a good team. I respect them, but I like it when they lose. Just getting tired of them. Sorry, I mean, I'm sure that might offend some fans out there, but yeah. Anyway, I doubt Philadelphia is going to pull it off, though. They've been a wreck on defense, so Brady should have a pretty easy day against them. That takes us to the infamous Panthers and New Orleans, the Saints. So, yeah, right now the Panthers are the only undefeated team in the NFL. I'm hearing a lot of talk about undefeated season, blah, 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 blah. Well, I hope that doesn't happen because they still have to play us. Carolina's defense is really good. Cam Newton has had a pretty good season. I still don't think he's an elite quarterback yet, but he's playing pretty well right now. However, you can't rule out Drew Brees. As long as he's got life left, you can't underestimate him if he has a really good game. Carolina, you better watch out. That's all I gotta say. That brings us to Indiana and Pittsburgh. Again, Indianapolis is in first place, or they're tied for first place in their division, so this is a must-win for them. Pittsburgh is trying to get into a wild card situation, so they also need to win this one. And then we have finally Dallas at Washington Monday night. Dallas is playing for pride. They're pretty much out of the playoffs. Washington wants to stay ahead on their division. Kirk Cousins has really played well the last few weeks. I always thought he'd be a good quarterback, so I guess he's finally coming around. So this should be a pretty easy win for them, I think. So that wraps up this weekend's matches. Now, as far as the playoff situation goes, yeah, we still have a lot of football left. It's still early. However, if the season ended today, right now in the AFC, the Patriots are sitting comfortably at 10-1. They are the first seed. Cincinnati is at 9-2. They are the number 2 seed. Denver's at number 3 seed. Number 4 is the Indianapolis Colts. Number 5 is the Kansas City Chiefs. And number 6 is the Texans. The Texans would go to battle Denver, and the Chiefs would go to Indianapolis. I almost said Indiana again. Anyway, so that's your AFC picture right now. There's still a lot of teams in the hunt right now. Anything can happen in the next 2 or 3 weeks. As far as the NFC side goes, Panthers are undefeated at 11-0, and they're number 1. The Cardinals at 9-2. Number 2 and number 3 is the Vikings. 4, the Redskins, surprisingly. Number 5, Packers at 8-4, and number 6, Seattle at 6-5. So Seattle would go on to Minnesota, and Green Bay would go to Washington. So that is the playoff scenario as of now. So hopefully that changes a little bit this weekend, I'm hoping. And I'm hoping for a big win for my team. And hopefully I'll get some help as well to keep them alive. I'm not expecting to go far in the playoffs this year. We had a really terrible season last year. So just getting into the playoffs this year would be a lot of progress for a team that was considered the worst in a long time in the league. So anyway, all's hopeful. So anyway, that was my recap of the games this weekend. I hope you enjoy watching them for whoever you're rooting for. And if you like my video, feel free to comment or leave some feedback, whether you agree or not. So I look forward to hearing from you. Anyway, this is Melodic Entity. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care, guys.